Okay, so upstairs there's two bedrooms. So you come up these stairs, and then there's this little hallway. I'm gonna show this one first. So there isn't an overhead light in here, but there's plugs. So it's getting a little dark outside. So I'm just kind of in time for the sunset. But there's two skylights, one in here and then one in the other bedroom. And then all of these crawl spaces open up. So just give you a little peek. So there's plenty of room for extra storage. Both bedrooms are pretty similar size. The other one is slightly bigger, but both of them have pretty spacious closets. And there's a light in each of the closets. And there's hardwood floors up here and through most of the downstairs, except for the kitchen and the bathroom. So this is the other bedroom. Very similar setup on this one. There's another crawl space. And then here's your skylight. So he put blinds on all of the windows up here. I'm not sure exactly how to use the skylight blind, but there is one. Here's the other closet. Yeah, and both of the bedrooms up here have this cutout from the dormer. You can see out to the street there. But yeah, they're pretty good size. And then here's another closet in the hallway. So this is another similarly sized closet. Okay, and then we'll go downstairs. So he just restained the treads on these stairs and painted the risers very recently. So these are more hardwoods down here. It's slightly different color, so darker up there, a little bit lighter on this floor. So you've got your dining room, kitchen, and living room all pretty close together. So there's a gas fireplace right here. He's never used it, but oh, I'm sorry, not a gas, a wood burning fireplace. He's never used it. If you wanted to put a gas insert in, I'm sure you could look into that. But it is there, and it's nice to have that option, especially for the winter months. So here's your living room area. And there's a lot of windows. I know it's like getting dark outside, but you can see there's a lot of windows. There's a bay window here, and then in the dining room, and then also in the kitchen. Okay, let's go to the dining room next. So this is the front door, but he usually uses the garage door because that goes right into the kitchen. So I'll show you that as well. Here's your dining room area. There's the other bay window. And then I think this is the only window that doesn't have a blind on it. Everything else has blinds. So those can stay, or those will stay, rather. Here's another closet. This is in the dining room. There's not really a coat closet, so I guess this would be your coat closet or a bonus closet. just give you another look at the dining room. And then, so, okay, we're coming into the kitchen. So the floor changes here. This is actually a pantry closet. So it's nice to have that storage. And then the current owner, he painted these cabinets and these floor tiles. They're like stick-on vinyl. So just to kind of freshen it up. The counters are laminate, but they do look pretty nice. Okay, and then there's this little rack right here, so you could put some pots and pans or little cooking stuff, just to have a little bit more storage stuff accessible. All the cabinets are in pretty good shape. So back here is like a faux brick backsplash. There's nothing on that wall, so you just got the little lip right here. Here's your sink. You got a double sink, and then dishwasher, stainless steel. So he told me that they had a little table right there in front of the window. So if you wanted to put like a small circle table or high top, something like that, just for like quick breakfast or whatnot, you could do that right here. There's plenty of room. If you need more room for like cooking space, you could also put an island there, like a roller island or something. There's a lot of room for that, lots of options. So here's your fridge over here, and then there's a little stained glass. You can probably see it better from the garage, but I can show you. There's a little stained glass window. Oh, it's definitely getting dark. Yeah, but these so these bay windows do go pretty deep. You can kind of see the backyard here. He has a patio right there. There was a deck, but he took that out, and then there's a shed back there as well. I'll try to get the outside before it gets dark. Okay, so now we're going down the hallway to the bathroom and then the first floor bedroom. This is your basement down here. I'll go down there after. So this bathroom has just been completely renovated. The tile is new, the vanity is new. I think he replaced the light as well, but everything's been redone. The tub might be the same. I'll put it in disclosures, but yeah, everything looks really, really nice in here. So here's a look at everything. So this is your only bathroom, but it's a pretty nice one. So, and then he's got some little shelves right here, just so you have like some storage for towels and stuff. The vanity is a lot bigger than what was in here before. So you've got plenty of room down here. And then there's some drawers as well. So they go pretty deep. There's 2 big drawers. And this is like built in, so there's a shelf right here. And it goes all the way to the end. So he did a really good job. And there's a big mirror over top of it. All of the doors are that same blue color that's in the kitchen, so everything matches. There's a closet door just behind this. So you've got like either like a linen closet or cleaning supplies, whatever you need. And then this is the first floor bedroom. So he's got it set up just as an office right now. So as you can see, it fits a really good sized desk. If you need like a work from home space, you could also use it as a bedroom. If you'd like, there's plenty of room in here to fit a bed and dresser and all that. And then also there's a good sized closet right here. Okay, and then we're going back towards the kitchen. This is the basement on the right. Here's another look at the living room. Okay, so this is the door coming off the kitchen. So you come out to the garage from this landing, and then there's a couple steps. There's a man door going to the driveway right there. And there's your big overhead door. So this is a one-car garage. There is some space for storage, and there's electric in here. So sorry, it's getting a little dark, so hopefully you can see okay. So this goes out to the patio area. So I'll go around, but just to give you a little idea, there's your overhead doors for the basement. So I'll show you that in the basement as well, but this is from the outside. And then he had like a patio table set up right here. And it's a pretty decent sized yard. But I'll walk around and then show you the other side of the back. Okay, so the sun is setting, but this is the front exterior of the house. We've had some snow lately, so there's a little bit of snow in the driveway still. But that's your front door, and you can see the main door to the garage. So I'll just kind of walk around a little bit. There is a little walk path leading up to the front door. And then we can walk around to the backyard. It's a really quiet neighborhood. Let's go this way. Okay, so there's your shed. So that's gonna be locked. He's still got some stuff in there. But it's there for you to use. So there's still this little part of the picket fence left over, and then the main fence area is on this side and then along the back, but the other side is open between him and the neighbors that way. So if you did have pets or something, you could look into getting an extension over there, or you could do an electronic fence or something if that's important to you. But let's just kind of walk around the yard. Actually caught the sunset. Look at that. So here's the back of the house. There's no information about the roof. He didn't know how old it was when he bought it. So unfortunately, I don't have any information to give you about that. So this is the other side of the backyard, and I also forgot to mention there's gutters on the front and the back of the roof. A beautiful sunset tonight. Okay, so now from the main hallway, we're going down to the basement. And there is part of it that's finished. So this carpet was put in by the previous owner, but it's from 2019. I believe I have it in the disclosures. So you've got some extra space down here. And then this is part of the unfinished part where you've got your laundry, washer and dryer. Not sure on the age of those. And then here's a closet that's under the stairs. So you've got a little bit of storage. Over here is your your electric box. So there's windows, but the sun just set, so you can't really see the light coming in anymore. But there is the little windows at the top. And if you can kind of see, that's the table that I showed you from the outside. So, okay, walking towards the utility area on the left, there's a utility sink. And then next to that is your overhead doors. So this is what I put in the disclosures about him getting some water around this area. I think it's probably just some kind of seal issue. And that's only been a couple times, like when there's really heavy rain. He said that they just get a little bit of water puddling around that area, and it's small enough that they can just kind of bring a mop around and then squeeze it out into the sink. So not a ton of water we're talking, but I do have that listed in the disclosures. And then over here is some kind of like a shop area. You've got some shelves, cabinets. There's a table over here. And then this is all your utility stuff. So probably less than half of the basement is finished. But I do have that in the floor plan. You can kind of see where the finished part is from there. Let me just show you the cabinets. So you've got like room for tools or paint or whatever over here. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I think this is the epoxy. So he said upstairs the counters, he was planning to epoxy it. So if the new buyer wants that, he can leave it for them. It's just to like make the laminate a little bit more durable, really. That's the goal. Adds a shine. And then over here is another utility closet. So this is your meter. for National Grid, and then the water meter's down there. This looks like the router. So he had FiOS, just FYI. And then here's another look. You could easily fit a couch in this area if you wanted to. Or like a playroom. Lots of options. The dehumidifier doesn't say. He needs to take that with him. Okay, so that's it for the basement.